Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake, from choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates, and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's Zola.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to RAP Paranormal and Friends with your hosts,
Cambre House
and Alison Robinson. Make sure to check us out on our Facebook pages, RAP Paranormal and Friends and RAP Paranormal Busters, for up-to-date show information and events. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another night of REP Paranormal and Friends. So tonight is going to be a special night. As you know, we are wrapping up with doing live shows, and next year it'll be all pre-recorded. So this is actually going to be our second to last show. We have one that's going to be a special tomorrow at 7:30, 6:30 Central with Nancy Yearout. We're going to be talking about her new book and how you can get a hold or talk to your spirit guides and guardian angels. So tune in for that one. But for tonight, I have some very special guests with us. We have Rebecca from the Cambre House. We have April Richardson from, she is one of our paranormal peeps, and she also does a lot with the Women's Club. And I know a lot of our listeners, probably know who she is because we I've had her on a few times. And then we also have been from Central Utah Paranormal on with us. So welcome, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it is going great. All right. So, since April, I see you first, how about you just give us a brief little insight on yourself? So everybody knows who you are.
Walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding. My name's April. I've been actively involved with the paranormal for, I think, over 6 years now. However, I've been interested in it ever since I was a kid. My main story is I grew up living over a funeral home. My father is a fourth-generation funeral director. And there would be times that I would be downstairs practicing, my acrobatic or dance routines and like in the area where the visitations would occur. And all of a sudden I'd feel like I wasn't by myself. And I'm an only child. Mm-hmm. So I was fleshy by myself.
Yeah.
But there were times that I had to go sit in a corner because I felt a little vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And then there'd be stories that my dad would tell that he would be visiting a patient in hospice that was getting ready to transition. And they'd be talking to somebody nobody else could see. And you'd hear, "Hey, Mom, who are you talking to?" "Well, that's great Aunt Carol." "Well, she passed away 30 years ago." "Well, no, she's standing right there."
Oh, wow.
And that really, especially as a kid, that gets the wheels turning.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then, the OG Ghost Hunters comes along, in like 2005, and I realized, you can actually go and do this kind of thing? Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Here's even better. And so it took a little bit for me to find a group that I could go out and start, meeting with, and got to meet all of y'all.
Yeah.
Now you're stuck with me.
That's okay. That's a good kind of stuck to have. Mine.
So that's my story.
All right. Well, it is a good story, interesting one. Ben, would you like to give us a little bit of insight?
Sure. So hello, my name's Ben Stephenson. I founded Central Utah Paranormal in about 2019, and I started roughly 2015, 2016, but it was more just doing it by myself around, like, where I live is extremely rural. Like, there's 2,000 people in the town that I live in. So it was nearly impossible to find, like, a large group of people. So I just kind of put it out there and have found some of my own people here now, too, that were just scared to do it or didn't want to do it themselves. But we mostly just, we've moved away from tours and events and things like that, and we just do home investigations and help people that are suffering with hauntings and things like that. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to tell you.
That's okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to give everybody a little bit of insight so they know who we're going to be talking with tonight. Now, Rebecca, it's your turn. You're in the spotlight.
My turn. I'm Rebecca Williamson from Nauvoo, Illinois, owner of Cambre House and Farm. I've been doing paranormal investigations since 2003 when my girlfriends bought me a ticket for a ghost tour. And so I've been hooked ever since. I bought my grandparents' farmhouse in 2016 and quickly realized it was actually haunted. And then started letting people come investigate and look for ghosts at my location, and then made friends with a whole bunch of teams, and they let me pal around with them sometimes. And so, yeah.
Yes.
That's me.
All right. So, for our listeners tonight, we got this idea from a couple listeners.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit the Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake. From choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates, and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
Listeners, one of them was going to actually be on tonight.
His
Nico,
name got drawn.
But, he's working, so he could not be on, so we'll have him on at a later time. But we have a whole cigar box full of questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to randomly draw from it a topic or a question, and we're just going to kind of go around and see what everybody thinks about it. Thought it'd be something different for us to do. We haven't really done anything like this before, so...
That's how we got the names to be on the show. We put 20 names in a hat and drew them.
Yep, absolutely. Oh gosh, I got a whole bunch of them stuck together. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I drew one that I wrote, so let's see if I can read it. Okay. So, first question is, do you think spirits can come and go as they please, or are they stuck in one specific location? Who'd like to go first? Don't all jump at it once.
They're thinking.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. I don't know that they're stuck in any one particular location. I just think that it doesn't occur to them that they could go to another location.
Mm-hmm.
I think that some of them are just so into where they're at, that it just doesn't occur to them that they could go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And then others are attached to like a person or something like that. And so then they follow the person or the object around. And so then they do go to different locations.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are obviously more aware of their surroundings and stuff so that they would go to other locations.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's that they can't or more that they won't go to other locations.
Good answer. Ben, do you have anything?
So I was thinking along the exact same lines as Rebecca, because they do have that option to attach to people and objects and move around. One thing that I've noticed, especially doing home investigations and business investigations, is if it's a darker spirit or something gross, it stays where it can feed off of whatever it's getting and whoever it's getting from. I would say good spirits, or maybe ones that don't really have a preference to an extent, move around more. But that's just kind of what I've seen.
April, do you have anything?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think they get to choose almost. Sure, some of them probably don't know that they can change, or change locations, but I've also been visited. I'm kind of a sensitive. I'm not going to say psychic medium, but I've also been visited by spirits that are not supposed to come to my house.
Yeah.
But turns out they're bored, or they're or something.
Not naming any names of which ones those would be.
Right. Yeah, Mr. Harold.
Yeah.
Of course. But, and that, the first time that happened, that shocked the heck out of me. I was like, what the hell are you doing here? Yeah. Anyway. But, I especially with Rebecca's Cambre House, the alpha spirit there, Fritz, is very, very particular with the location. So no, he's not going to just go wandering all over the place. That's his spot. That's his space. That's his house. So I think it just kind of depends on the spirit and what they're wanting or needing, or whatever their agenda is. Because I think if you go into a place that hasn't been investigated, either A, before, or B, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And you break a rapport with a person, they might even be like, hey, you're kind of cool. I kind of want to follow you. Keep the conversation going a little bit.
Right.
And then you're going to, maybe you should stay here. But I think it could be any of the above.
Oh yeah, I do too. I totally agree. I think they can go wherever they want. Some of them just might not know that they can, or some, like I said, like everybody else has said, that they're just might be attached to that place. Maybe it was a happy place for them, and that's where they feel comfortable at, so that's where they want to stay. Some may not know. Maybe they had a traumatic accident and they really don't know where they're at and what they're supposed to be doing, you know. So I think a lot of things come into that, but I do 100% agree that, you know, they can go wherever they want, just some may not choose to. Kim, do you have any input?
I agree with everybody.
You agree with everybody? She's like throwing the next question at me already. She's like,
it was my turn to draw, so I just drew.
all right. Next question. What advice would you give someone that is just starting out? Who'd like to go? Ben, you want to go first this time?
Sure, I'll go first this time.
All righty.
Be safe. Try not to do it alone or go anywhere alone. If you do go alone, go somewhere that's not a cave or a abandoned building where you could never be found again.
Right.
But really, just get a recorder, and like I know everyone has like the first videos I watched when I was learning, like we'll go back like 2015. I was the one walking around with the EMF, like, oh, there's a ghost here. Oh,
yeah.
You know, but if you can take around just a recorder, a flashlight, and a camera, you will be so surprised at the conversation that you will be able to have, what you'll be able to hear, and who knows what else you'll be able to catch on camera itself. And it doesn't take a $2,000 HD 4K camera. My very first one was what was pre like 1080p. Like, I mean, it wasn't like one that you held up here, but it was pretty damn close. But you'll be surprised what you can find with very minimal equipment. You don't need everything that they have on TV, and you'll just be safe and try those first.
Exactly. Good words there. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'll second that. You don't need expensive equipment. I like to advise people to look for a paranormal tour that one of the teams is putting on for your first one, just so that you can get an experienced team with you. You know, you can watch them use the equipment, see how it's best used, see if you like that equipment. I mean, everybody kind of has their preference about the different types of equipment that they like, and when you watch another team with their equipment, then it kind of gives you a better idea of what.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit the Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake. From choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates, and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's Zola.com.
What you can or can't, what you like, I guess.
You're right.
Better phrase. And then too, they kind of just having that experience for your first outing is kind of helpful. Just to give you like the training wheels before you go out on your own.
I agree. April, do you have anything to add to that, or?
I would say a flashlight, whether that's your phone or whatever. Trust your instincts. If for some reason you're not feeling comfortable, leave. No harm it's fine. Your gut is your best gut compass, honestly, your best gut.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really do feel like buying any sort of equipment, the cat toys that are not super expensive, you can get them off of Amazon, anything like that, but it's a really good introductory tool that can actually do a lot of good results.
Oh, yeah. They do work good. We just got a big box of balls. Cat balls!
Something everyone needs.
Yeah. And anybody who is listening or that's in chat, feel free to ask questions too. Okay? And we'll get to you as well. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Gosh, I can't read these.
How come you keep drawing yours and I keep...
I don't know. Okay, so this one's kind of a new topic that's in the news here. What do you think about the drones that are being spotted? I've heard, that they're just drones or UFOs.
What are they trying to get our attention away from? That's what I think.
Yeah. True.
Yep. Diversionary tactic.
Mm-hmm. Ben, what do you think?
I don't do a lot of the paranormal investigating stuff anymore. Like I said, ours is mostly private, so I don't get to share 99% of any of the evidence that I get.
Yeah.
But I agree. I can't remember if it was April or Rebecca that said, like, what are they trying to take us away from?
Mm-hmm.
I've dove into all of the the largest conspiracy theory right now that I've been able to find is that the government's preparing for Project Blue Beam, and these drones are all going to be the projectors that make us see whatever it is they want us to see.
Wow.
The second coming of the Lord, or an invasion, and to there's so many. There's so many, but that's one of the most interesting ones that I've ran into so far. Is how can we make the world believe what we want them to believe, and how can we do it? But yeah, that. I agree that it's just something that's trying to take our thoughts away from something else. But that's the most intriguing one that I've read into so far.
Yeah,
it was a weather balloon. It was a weather balloon, and then all of a sudden, nope, aliens are real. Like, well, we already knew that.
Yeah.
Why is my gas price still so high? And what is real?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Okay, all right, we got another one here, another question. What's the worst device or trigger object you have used and why? So what's something that you tried it out and you just didn't care for it? Jim, do you have one?
No, I like all mine. Mine are all dolls.
Okay. I thought of one. I had to think of it, but I thought of one.
Yeah.
I went on one where they wanted us to dress up in all period clothing, and interesting theory.
Right.
Interesting theory, but we all got dressed up in period clothing and played period music and acted like we were in the time period. And it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work for not a lot of experience. I'm just going to say that for right now. It was a lot. It was a lot of prep work, and we were all excited about it going into it. And then, we didn't really get as much activity as I hoped. And it was just kind of like, well, why did we do all that?
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, we use trigger objects and things like that, but we don't go to the extent where we're full on, acting like we're from that period. You know?
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Oh, my Lord. April, do you have one?
Oh, man. Oh, I remember Kim setting up a whole like vignette of soldiers playing poker at the women's club.
Oh yeah.
So, and we got a little activity, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Like it was just like that was a lot of work for not a lot of. So again, back to the period clothing and whatever.
Yeah.
So you just I don't know. You throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. I guess
that's right. That's what you do. You don't know what's gonna work until you try it, I guess.
I don't even remember which location it was. I just remember the shoes were uncomfortable.
Oh, jeez. Yikes. Yeah. What did you have to do? Wear heels?
Yeah, and I hate heels. I never wear heels.
No,
so,
I would not wear heels.
I can't even remember what it was. I don't know.
Oh.
But it was not
What
good.
about Ben?
Ben, what do you have? Do you have anything that you've tried and you didn't care for?
I'm still trying to. All of mine have worked in the situation or the area that they should be used in. But whenever I've tried to use them, like in a random place where it's not really for that setting, they haven't worked. But I don't have one specifically that I haven't liked, so I'm sorry.
Nope, that's okay. No worries. Well, she's
high heels to get it, accomplished. That's fine. Because high heels are new for me.
Well, April brought up the war stuff at the women's club, but I did put a uniform on at Melbourne and got some reaction.
Excellent.
So you just never know when it's going to happen with this stuff.
Yep. We do have a question in chat. It's from Alec Tillery from Creeps. They also have their show on YouTube too, so check it out.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit bmwusa.com for details.
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake, from choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates, and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's Zola.com.
Wonderful guys, love them to death, but he has a question for all of us. What is the main factor that you look for when considering whether or not a paranormal investigation was successful or worthwhile? Good question.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Who would like to go on that one first?
They're thinking.
They're like...
Well, did you have an experience or no?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
that's true.
I would agree with April. Whether or not I had an experience, did I have a good time? A lot of, for me personally, it's not always if I can document it. It's whether or not I experienced it.
Yeah, have like your own personal experience.
Yeah, so often I never get anything like documented, but like if I saw something, felt something, or experienced something and had fun with my friends, then that's a successful one for me. So
agreed.
Yep, I ditto that.
So I can touch on that on maybe a different way.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So this was a private investigation that I do have permission to talk about. So I guess for a little background, I'll try and
Sure.
I'll try and keep the story short because it can go for a really long time, but I'll keep it short. So I started working for my local sheriff's office in 2015. Mm-hmm. I've worked in the jail for almost 10 years now. Mm-hmm. But people have known me as like the weird cop that likes paranormal stuff. And so anyways, there was a girl in a town next to ours who believed someone was breaking into her home and that she had a stalker. Mm-hmm. And she would come home and laundry would be thrown everywhere. The fridge was open a few times and food was thrown out of the fridge. Oh, wow. And her house was locked, come home, house would still be locked, and these things would happen. And so she called the sheriff's office. One of the guys went out, investigated the home, set up cameras outside, and was like, okay, like, let's like have you leave. We're going to see if anyone comes. Mm-hmm. And the deputy goes and gets the video the next day, and he's looking through it, mm-hmm. and there's nothing. But, I need to back up. So she got home mm-hmm. while he had the video still set up, got home, her house was destroyed. Oh, wow. And he had the video outside showing no one coming in and no one coming out. But towards the end of the video, have you ever seen those really old, they're like water pumps that you have the big handle that comes up on the side. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you watch the handle open up by itself, and then it floods her yard.
Oh my gosh!
And then it shuts off by itself about an hour later.
Oh wow!
And so he goes and talks to her, and he's just like, do you know Ben? And she's like, I hoped you wouldn't come to this. I'd rather have a stalker.
I think I'd rather have a spirit than a stalker.
But so me and one of my partners, her name's Stephanie, mm-hmm. we went there and investigated her house and ended up blessing the home, I guess, for use of other terms. Mm-hmm. And that girl had a boyfriend at the time, mm-hmm. and after we had blessed the home, all of a sudden boyfriend didn't want to be there. Boyfriend wasn't comfortable, and he left her, and it left with him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. Good.
So for me, it was awesome because like I was able to help her. Like mm-hmm. we were able to help her remove that from her home and find out that she didn't have a stalker, mm-hmm. just that her boyfriend was carrying around some luggage that he needed to get rid of.
Yeah, the trash need to be taken out.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add to this, Kim? Kim's just going to...
I'm interested in their answers.
Now, with the success, I also agree with, just coming away with my own personal experiences. Sometimes we get it captured on film. Other times I do not because, I'm turned the other way with the camera, but,
Or we forget our recorder.
Or we forget, But just going and having your own personal experiences and taking that away from there or getting, like, a direct response.
Like dolls being thrown?
Dolls being thrown. But, like, if you actually get, like, an intelligent answer, to one of your questions, that is something I call success as well. And if you continue to go to the same locations and kind of are able to add on to some of those, questions that you've asked and you've gotten responses and you can kind of come up with something, that's another, I don't know, kind of success in my book. But just taking away the personal experiences and also just, doing it with our friends and things like that, that's also a win in my book. So that's my 2 cents for that. Thanks for the great question, Alec. All right, next one. Do you think that the dead play tricks on us?
As we all laugh and say
yes.
Yeah. I watched all of us laugh, so I'm just...
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So Fritz at Cambre is very much a very dry sense of humor has Mr. Fritz. But yeah, he and Mom have their long-standing beef where he just locks her out, and it's hilarious. And yeah, so yes, I'm gonna say yes.
100%, absolutely 100%. I've had a couple of experiences with Fritz that hit that nail right on the head. Had experiences with Harold down at Mason House Inn. Hit that nail right on the head. Like, I was calling him out for not being super active one night for an investigation. I'm laying in bed because it's a bed and breakfast, and I get patted on my butt twice.
Yeah.
All right, done talking.
Give you a good game.
Yeah. Here's your action.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to hear you. You know.
That's funny. So, we actually had one. I had a friend that wanted to be kind of like a guest on. We did a series, like a 3-part series, and I can't remember off the top of my head what we called it. We did it like 5 years ago, and we made contact with.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit BMWUSA.com for details.
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake. From choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
A little boy. At least that's what we believed outside of this ranch, and also another spirit that we were speaking to, and we were using dowsing rods, and would ask like, "Okay, you've been talking about like your favorite thing was out here. Like, can you point to where that is?" And they'd go over here, and we'd walk like 20 paces. Like, is it still this way? Boop, and we'd go this. And we're in this giant field in the middle of the night outside one of the interstates with a flashlight and a camera and dowsing rods. So, people are driving by like, what's going on in that field? Anyways, we do this for about 30 minutes, and it's November, and it's like 20 degrees outside.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm just like, wait a minute, is this the kid? Is he playing a prank on us? And I was like, is this the kid? And they crossed for yes. And I was like, there's no treasure, is there? And it like shakes for like no. I was like, damn it! And we had to hike back 600 yards in the other direction. Oh, it was fantastic.
That's a good one. I think, they like to joke around a lot. We used to get that at Farrar.
Farrar a lot of times.
There was Nick and,
we had Nick and Mikey and...
I can't remember the other one's name.
I can't remember either.
Chris,
that's right. They used to play jokes on us all the time.
Oh, yeah, they did. And we would ask them, too, and then they would flick the candles on. We had these little twist top candles or whatever, but it was funny. They would do a lot of little trickster things, and sometimes I don't know if it's also that, but like I think sometimes when we ask them questions too, they're not always truthful with us in some of the things they say or who they really are, You kind of get that feeling sometimes like they're, pulling your chain and...
Your name is 17 times a day, every day.
They're going to get tired and they're going to be like, yeah, this is... My name is going to be Felicia today.
It's like, is there anyone here? No. Like, what? Hey, come on.
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds like a very Fritz answer. Like Fritz answers questions like that a lot, where you'll ask something and he'll just say something off the wall crazy that you're like, okay, all right, I get it. You're tired.
Yeah.
Bored of this.
Mm-hmm. A little cranky. It's fine.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, we'll be in there in the middle of investigation and things are going great, and then you go home over the spirit box, and we're like, what? No, we're having fun. He's like, bedtime or something like that. Like, he's just like, done. Go home, go to bed. What are you doing here?
We had a ghost tour out there, and he got done, and it was like time to go. And then so some people went downstairs, and he goes, there go a few, or something like that. And I mean, he was done. Just like, I'm going to check you off. I need you to leave the house. I know each one of you, and I need you to go now.
Yep. Alex says that Kim and I played some tricks on him and his brother at Malvern back in 2020. It was their very first time, and we got them.
I'm good at playing tricks.
No.
Shadow. What?
Yeah. I didn't crawl at them with the morph suit on like I did with Darren. Crawling down in an all-black morph suit in a pitch-black hallway at somebody on your all fours, Shadow Man hallway on all four floors. Just no, I didn't do that to them, but
I believe it, Alec. You said paybacks are coming.
Oh man, oh great, can't wait. All right, next question is, how important do you think it is for somebody starting in the field to debunk? I mean, this goes for anybody in general, honestly, but...
Yeah, super, super important. Number one, just because you want to know what you're getting is real. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I've got something, I'm getting like super excited about it. The equipment's going off. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. And then I realize that it's only going off because it's laying next to the refrigerator and the refrigerator kicked on. And then, I'll be like, gosh, darn it, like that, just that whole like up and down thing, or to have something happen, or you're excited about it and you take the video evidence to your friend, say, hey, look at this happen. And they're like, yeah, did you see the refrigerator kicked on when your equipment started going off? Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that kind of stuff, I think is really important when you're starting out to know exactly what is going to set off your equipment, so that when it's going off, you're for sure having an experience, and you don't have that bubble bursting moment of, darn it.
Yes. Facts.
Yeah. We learned that our phones will set off our dog and cat, too.
Yeah. And walkie-talkies set that kind of stuff off, so you got to be real careful. Yep.
And to piggyback on that, I would also say that if you're new and you're getting involved in all of this, or even if you're not really involved, but, hey, something looked weird on your Ring camera.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Somebody who is more experienced in the field than you are to look at it, please be open to having them say, that is a spider creating a web.
Yeah.
Or that is a reflection from a car driving by. I mean...
Right. Yep.
Because I've had that happen to me, and they're like, no, that's my dead grandfather. And like...
Okay, yep, whatever.
But if you want to believe that, and that brings you comfort, then, go ahead.
Yeah.
But don't get mad if we're like, oh, that, hey, thanks for this, but this is what I think this actually is.
Right. And when you're taking pictures too, take multiple pictures in the same spot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't, even if you have that where you can just hold it down and take a bunch of pictures. Don't just take one and be like, oh, I got something here, because that's not always the case. It's good to have multiples too to see, you know.
And videos.
Yeah.
Learn the difference between dust and bugs and all that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The main thing is a big thing. Mm-hmm. Just because you took a picture of your fire pit and you think you see the devil in there does not mean he was actually there.
Yeah. Ben, do you have anything for that one?
So it made me think of two, and I've only had one person like get really mad for me like telling them that they were wrong, and I did it nicely. You know, I wasn't just like, you're an idiot. You know, I was like, no. Yeah. So someone sent me footage, like I have this ghost running down my hallway, and I got it on camera. It's on my indoor camera, and so I have tons of video of this. And I was like, okay, can you send me the video? And she sends me one video, and it does. It looks like something goes foof and like runs down the hallway, and I watched it, 100+ times, and I was like, this is kind of hard. Like, can you send me the other video? And she was really reluctant to send me the other video. I was like, can you send me the other video? Like, I'm not coming to your house, like, because she lived like 4 hours away. I was like, if this is legit, I will happily come and help you, because we do it for free. Right. So I do a lot of debunking from my computer. Right. And so she sent me about 5 or 6 more, and on those ones you could see it. But when you watched it carefully, you could see it was like an ant or a bug. And so, because it would come up, and then like it wasn't fluid. You're right. It was just like, gosh. But the first video looked it went straight down the hallway and through the door. Like it went perfect, just like you would imagine. Right. And so she's the only one I had get really upset with me. The other one, she was like, I got pushed out of my bed. The handprint from the ghost is on my blanket. And I was like, cool. Can you send me a picture of that? Yeah. And you know those like minky blankets, like if you go the opposite direction. It does that, yeah. She put her hand on it and like just went sideways a little bit. And so she sent me just the picture of the hand. I was like, would you mind putting your hand next to it just so I have a little, something to compare to? Oh yeah, totally. Same size. It was her hand. Oh my gosh. I was like, no. Wow. And I was like, oh, that's different. Like, what else happens? And that she never messaged me back, because I think she looked at the picture after she sent it to me and was like, ah. But oh my gosh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to discourage anybody from who's new and like is asking for help. I don't want to say that at all, but just please be
open-minded. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that.
Right. And like even us experienced investigators will sometimes see something, it'll happen in the moment, we'll think it's something, right, and then later on we'll debunk it, and it's not really something. Right. Yeah.
I think we've all been there one
it's
time or another.
Yeah, but
we've all been there a time or two for sure. And then you get you get bummed out. You're like, son of a nutcracker, Yep. All right, we have another question in chat, and this one's for Rebecca from Alec. From any wedding / reception events this past summer at the Cambre House, did any ghosts appear in any pictures of the bridal party?
Not that I've seen yet. They don't always notice. I had one that I personally had the picture for a year before I noticed the person in the window, which is what's on my Instagram. That awesome, cool picture. Right. I'd had that picture for a year before I noticed it. Wow. So I haven't noticed any yet. I will say that I've had a couple of the bridal weddings this summer had experiences. The one said, well, I had a whole wedding party that refused to sleep in the house. They got too creeped out, said they were here and stuff, and so they did not sleep in the house, even though they planned on it. And then I had one where this guy was a little over the top extra, in that he decided he wanted to mow the yard himself.
What?
Okay.
I don't know. He he asked if it was okay to mow the yard himself, and I figured, well, if you're going to be that particular, go ahead. It'll save me paying somebody to mow it for your wedding. Go, if you want to mow, I will let you mow. So anyway, he mowed it all himself, and he ended up being out there like just at dusk while he was mowing. And he said, as the sun went down, he got creeped out and was gone. And he and then like his family came on the ghost tour because he was so weirded out by this, and they're like, he is not the type to get weirded out. Like he is not the type of person that we would expect to get weirded out or believe something like that. So the idea that he was so weirded out that he left, they were like, this place is definitely haunted. We're coming on the ghost tour, and that group was like amazing. So
very cool.
They loved ghost tour. We had an awesome tour with them.
Very cool. All right. Next question is for all of you here. Do you think most hauntings are residual or intelligent hauntings? Excuse me.
Well, as a rule, I think the ones that we interact with are intelligent. As far as, like responses to spirit boxes or yes and no questions with, your K2s or your EMFs or whatever piece of equipment you're using, that would be intelligent. Not to say that there's not residual there as well, but I would think you'd need to be there more than one night to actually decipher who was residual, if that was indeed the case. Because if they're using the same motion over and over again, say at a specific time, you need to be there at that specific time, and then again at that specific time to see the said action. So just, for me, and only my opinion, if you're only there for one night, you're probably going to have more interaction with intelligent spirits.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that one?
I can on this one.
Okay, sure.
So I can't talk a lot about. So where I work is haunted. Like, I mean, it's a jail. It's been around since 1983. It's full of wonderful, bright, booming energy. It's very loving and kind.
Just throwing that out.
So we have both. So imagine every single day for 40 years, you've had someone doing cell checks every 45 minutes, going to your window and making sure you're okay, you haven't hurt yourself, you're still alive, and you'll be somewhere else completely, and then an inmate will call in and be like, someone was just looking at.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake. From choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates, and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
at me and it wasn't you. And you're just like, huh? And they'll see someone come up to their window, and then they'll get up and go look out their window, and there's no one there. Or you'll be walking around, and the next day someone will be like, oh, were you training someone? No. Oh, a cop was following you last night, like around the building. And you're like, oh, good.
Yeah.
But there's also the ones that you can talk to that will move stuff and throw stuff, and I get it's crazy. But so for me, I'd say it's hard to say. Just like April said, like if you want to see if it's residual, you have to be there for it all the time.
Right.
And at work, luckily, I was able to see, like, get those events that did happen all the time, nearly every night. Like, oh yeah, this is residual. But then the other stuff, when you're walking around and like toilet paper get chucked at the wall, or someone's magazine and get thrown off the table, or a garbage can and get flipped over, like, you're like, yeah, okay, but yeah.
I think when most people say their place is haunted, it's typically residual activity that they're seeing. You know, because I mean, how often have people told you, well, my cabinet doors are open, or this door opened, or, you know, all that type of stuff. I heard footsteps, and any time that activity is usually like residual. And so I think like most people, when they're experiencing that type of stuff, are experiencing residual activity. As far as like if it's more common or not, I don't know. We're just not far enough along in like the research on this to know for sure percentages of it. But
yeah, I agree too. Honestly, I think there's a little bit of both in some places, but you know, like you said, you got to be there all the time to kind of experience, to see, okay, this is the same thing happening on repeat, you know, at the same time or whatever, you know what I mean? You'd have to spend a lot of time in that location to be able to tell if it's residual or not. Do you have anything on that?
Like my house. I think part of it's haunted, but I think the residual is about holiday time and stuff. You're smelling Mom cooking in the kitchen. You're smelling her cinnamon rolls and stuff like that's coming through. Every year at Christmas time.
Yeah. Right.
Because I smelt it just before I came over.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Okay, we have another question in chat from Allie. She wants to know, do you believe a living person can create enough energy to create a haunting while they're still alive, but it's not considered poltergeist? That's one to think about.
Not considered poltergeist?
So like
not a poltergeist.
So like a chaos attachment or something like that?
Maybe, or like, can it be like...
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Do you believe a living person can create enough energy to create a haunting? So I wonder if maybe like they can create their own activity there, but it's not to the point where things are being thrown, or, you know, like a poltergeist activity, like the movie Poltergeist, how, you know, chairs are being stacked up on tables and things are being thrown and stuff like that. But like maybe they create some kind of energy in there, but not to the point where it's, you know, throwing things. Do you think they could create something like that?
I would say yes. That answer would be yes, because I think, you know, there are certain locations that you go to where there's a teenager there or whatever, and they're having some experiences and things are happening, but they're really not quite sure. And then that person leaves that situation, and the activity stops. And so I think there could be like different levels of it, you know, like Firestarter pops to mind, because Firestarter is based off of a true story that happened close by where I live. So that's one that always pops into my head, thinking about Wyanette from Macomb. But that it started small with just like smoldering, and then it went to fires, and just, I think a lot of times, especially like the paranormal activity, and when you talk about places being haunted, stuff happens, but you don't even really notice it. And so I would say that like that type of stuff could be happening in smaller doses, and it wouldn't be quite all the way to the poltergeist level, but it would be happening.
Gotcha. Yeah, she said it was kind of a hard way. She was trying to figure out the wording for that.
Well, I mean, if you've got severe anxiety, that's going to like your vibration completely, like it's just going to explode, and that energy's got to go somewhere. So, is there a chance of that? I'm going to say yes, simply because I don't know if that is a yes or no, but I can absolutely see somebody who having very high vibration, very high anxiety, and having all of that chaos just completely attached to them all the time. That might affect something. It might bring something worth. I don't really know.
That's a very good question. Ben, do you have anything on that one?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. At least I'm not knowledgeable enough, I think, to comment on that, because I don't know.
I think somebody could kind of add activity to a location.
Well, in fact, I know somebody can, if that's what you're do.
What was that? What?
What?
What? Huh?
What?
Huh? What? I don't know who you're speaking of.
Oh, that reminds me. I had somebody to offer me the other day where they bought a house that was rigged up with all the stuff to make noises in it, and they were going to be removing those. So if I would like them to add to my house to make noises and stuff and have paranormal activity, that they would give them to me.
Oh my gosh, what?
I'll take them. I'll use them.
Oh my lord.
I really can't speak for Fritz, but no.
No, that's not really what we're doing here. No. So thanks, so
doors open by themselves, the doors lock by themselves, the lights go on and off by them. We're fine. We're fine.
Alex says, so he was kind of, he's in chat and he was kind of dropping a little bit on this one. He said the stone tape theory. He says he thinks that behaviors and actions can leave behind so much emotional energy, both good and bad energy. Good energy, like Kim smelling the memories during the holidays. So that's a good one.
Yeah, good call out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have time for one more question. Okay, what is this? Dun, dun, dun.
I got a lot more.
I know we have so much more, but we were having such good conversations here.
I know we are. That's what I like about it.
All right. Do you think spirits drill us with questions like we drill them with questions? That's a good one. Do you think they're muttering something under their breath at us? Maybe we just don't hear it. I think they're probably just cussing us out all the time.
Yeah. They're like,
go away.
Leave me alone. Yeah.
I told her 5 times to do that, and she didn't hear that.
Like, I already told you my name. Or like, my favorite, and he who shall not be named, TV show.
Oh, yeah.
For an interaction, and then it happens, and then they whip themselves, scream, and run out the room. You know, the spirit's gotta be like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
Yeah.
You're not possessed.
Amen.
That's assault.
Yeah, or like the spirit box says yes, and then everybody in the room says, Did that just say yes? I think it said yes. I'm pretty sure it said yes.
Yes.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Can you confirm? Did you say yes?
Yes.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
That has to be annoying.
It has
From the other side. I mean, from our point of view, I can see why, we all do that. But I mean, the other side, that has got to be annoying.
It's like, I said, flipping yes, clean out your damn ears.
I've honestly never thought about it, but it's totally, probably, completely true.
Yeah, it probably is. That's how I'm going to be. Like, oh, here we go again.
I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. I have a list. I have plans for whenever I'm on the other side. I have plans. Put it that way.
I have plenty of people I want to haunt.
The way I look at it, we ask all these questions all the time, right? What happens? Somebody gets scratched because they're annoyed.
Yeah. That's probably why they pinch us, pull our hair and stuff. And like, hello, like,
yeah. Or like Harold pat me on the butt, to get me to be like, me.
They're just trying.
Sir, I'm not talking to you anymore tonight. No, I am not. I'm taking my toys and I'm going home. Goodbye.
That's right. Yeah. Allie says the ghost spilled tea about all of us to the other ghosts.
1,000%. Yeah.
Can you imagine just like a ghost roast? They're just roasting all of us. Like, oh, it's them again. Remember when?
Dude, watch this. I'm going to totally get this guy to wet himself. Dude, watch this. Yeah.
Oh, God, that's so great.
Yeah, they're probably sitting over there making plans. Oh, this is who's coming this week.
I know exactly what to do. All right.
Oh, my gosh, this is so great. I love it. Oh, my gosh, we had such a blast. This was a fun time. I'm so sad that our live feeds are going to be going away. Because I really enjoy the interactions in chat, but, I'm afraid that once we go to pre-recorded, nobody's going to be in there, and I'm going to be like, Bueller, hello, is this thing on? Hello, So, it was fun. We actually had a lot of good questions in chat, and we had amazing people on tonight. Let's real quick go around, and if you've got, social media or anything you want to have people follow you on. Ben, go ahead. We'll start with you.
All of our stuff you can get on our link tree on Instagram on central.utah.paranormal, and you'll be able to find all of our articles and our other social medias there.
Perfect. Anybody else want to share theirs?
Cambre House, CAMBRE, Cambre House, Cambre House on Instagram, CambreHouse.com. All the Cambre things. Type Cambre in your search engine. I should pop up somewhere or another.
Perfect. Sorry, excuse me. I couldn't hold it in any longer.
April.
Yeah, part of Raven Road Paranormal out of Northwest Iowa, even though I live in Southeast Iowa. Doesn't matter. But you will also find me on a lot of the REP videos. You'll find me on a lot of Cambre things. I pop up everywhere.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
and Hunter the supervisor.
Yes.
Yes, my dog has a Facebook page. He's a very spoiled only child. I will admit it. You're the supervisor if you need cute shorty pics.
There we go. Who doesn't need them? He is quite the character, and he has a lot of facial expressions, so you have to check it out. Honestly. All right. Before we head out, I want to say thank you to our guests again for being on. It was really awesome talking to all of you. Thank you to everybody who was in chat. We had Alec, we had Allie, we had Darren was in there for a brief. So thank you everybody who's in chat. Thank you to everybody who was not in chat but listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. And like I said,
I wished it could have been longer.
I know. I know. But is getting to be my bedtime. And tomorrow, don't forget though, we do have one last final live special episode, 7:30, 6:30 Central, with Nancy Yearout. She's going to be talking about her book, A Guide to Angel Communication and Spiritual Laws, so you can learn how to communicate with your spirit guides and guardian angels. So stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a pretty interesting show. And until next time, everybody, peace out.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
You can have it all. Great pay, awesome benefits, a flexible schedule, the chance to grow. At Cox, we're recruiting auto and diesel technicians to join our Mannheim and Fleet Services teams. If you're ready for a new job and want to experience an award-winning workplace, drive your career forward with us. Visit cox.career/autotech to learn more. That's cox.career/autotech.